what do I think is better, warm or cold running? So I'm going to tell you what's better, and then I'm going to rate them. But straight up, I'm going to tell you that I think. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back to the video. So before we jump into today's video, I would like to say I hope you enjoyed the last video I posted for you guys about my winter track goals. I really enjoyed telling you all about my times, some of the places I would like to get, and some of the competitions I have coming up. Maybe I would like to get All-American in Nationals, I told you guys about, and I told you about this in the 800 meters, the 1500 meters, and the mile, and last but not least, the 3000 meters. So, yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed that one, and that's probably going to do it up for our first part of the intro. And now let's move into our second part of the intro, the topic for today's video. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about the pros and cons of hot and cold running and what I think is better. So this topic is actually a really, really old one. At the beginning of my channel, when I first started, a few weeks as I started it, like the beginning weeks as I started it, I had a journal and I wrote down a bunch of ideas for content, and I never got a chance to do it for you guys because I had so many race previews and recaps and other videos that I was going to do for you guys, book recaps. And finally, with not a ton of races this winter season, I am finally able to branch out of content that you guys would like to see, and you guys can actually tell me the type of content that you guys would like to see, and I can do that for you. Also, as I just said, comment down in the live chat if you guys have any content you would like. I will write it down and hopefully get to yours as soon as I possibly can. So today's video, we're going to be having 4 blocks. We're going to be having four of them, as I just said. Sorry about that. I got a little mixed up in my own words. But these 4 blocks are going to be the pros of cold running, the cons of cold running, the pros of warm running, and the cons of warm running. And then I'm going to rate, and we're going to have we're going to have 5 blocks. The 5th block is going to be me telling you guys and rating which one I think is better, hot or cold running. Yeah, guys, so that's probably going to do it up for, and I hope you enjoyed the magic trick block in the last video as well. Comment on the live chat if you like that. Yeah, guys, so that's probably going to do it up for this intro of the video. And now let's move into our first block of the video, the pros of cold running. Alright, guys, in this first block of the video, we're going to be talking about the pros of cold running. So in this block, I will be giving you a few ideas of what I think could be like benefits of cold running and things that are good. But to start off, when you're cold running, you don't have to worry about getting hot. So obviously, this is exactly the opposite of warm weather running. You don't have to worry about getting cold. But getting hot, I do not like getting hot because when I get hot, I need water really bad. And yeah, I'm not going to tell you guys, but cold running, it's definitely, you don't get hot, so it's definitely more enjoyable for that sense, which also brings me to number 2. You don't have to get water as much. You don't have to take in as much water because in the summer, you're sweating a lot more and you're losing a lot more calories than in the winter because your body is, you're sweating a lot more because of the sun, so you're going to have to take in a lot more water than in the winter when all your sweat is kind of like contained and you're colder. So you're not really that hot, which means you don't sweat a ton, which means you don't take in a ton of water, which is kind of nice. But yeah, so those are probably the 2 I can touch on right now. But yeah, so, I mean, obviously, cold weather running does have its pros. Those are its pros. You don't have to worry about getting hot, and you don't have to worry about taking in a ton of water because sweat. You don't really sweat that much, and you don't really get hot at all because you have to layer up. But that can also be a con as well, which we would talk about in the next block. But that's probably all I have to say for that. If I'm missing any, please comment down in the live chat if I'm missing any because I probably am. But for those 2 right now, that's probably really all I have to say for this first block of the video. And now let's go into our second block of the video, the pros of cold weather running. Alright, guys, in the second block of the video, we're going to be talking about the cons of cold running. So I'm going to admit the cons of cold running, in my opinion, definitely outweigh the pros. Again, I only had 2 pros for cold running, so there was not a ton for I didn't have a ton of pros in cold running because I am not necessarily a cold weather runner. But yeah, so the first con I want to touch on is you have to layer up. There is nothing really I like about layering up because all it does is, first of all, it's really heavy. Second of all, when you might put on too many layers, even one too many, you might sweat a ton, you might get really hot, and it can become very uncomfortable. It can also rub against your skin, so that can also become really uncomfortable. And sometimes you have to wear really tight clothes, so you don't. It's really just restrictive. For any of you who have run in the cold, you know that you have to wear restrictive tights, restrictive undershirts, sometimes even restrictive shirts over the restrictive undershirts. So you don't have much room to move around in that. My second con of cold weather running is you don't. My second con of cold weather running is there's a lot of ice and snow on the ground most of the time. Maybe some places this is not, but most of the time around here, when I get snow and ice, it's terrible because yes, the snow is melted into water, but even though the snow is melted into water, it's become ice because it's below 32 degrees. So even when the snow has melted and it turns into ice, that's the worst. And even worse than that is when when it is hot, over 32 degrees, the ice melts, spreads across the road, and then freezes again. Because then it just becomes like a skating rink. And all of you who have run on that, you know what I'm talking about. Because the road is just like a pure skating rink at that point. Like, there's nothing good about it. So yeah, that's number 2. Number 3, it gets darker earlier. In the winter, most places on Earth, in the winter, it gets darker earlier in the year. So it's harder to find times to run in the cold because when it gets dark, I mean, it's hard to run. Like, you have to break out the headlamps, and you have to either bring a flashlight, or if you don't have a headlamp, you got to bring your flashlight or a phone. So you got to do everything. And fourth of all, it's just cold. Like, I personally do not like the cold, and so I really don't like cold weather running for that reason, because I don't like the cold. But yeah, so that's probably going to wrap it up for the second block of the video, and now let's go into our third block of the video, the cons of warm weather running. Alright guys, in this third block of the video, we're going to be talking about the cons of warm weather running. So in this block, I'm basically going to be telling you the exact opposite of what I told you in the cold weather running block. So basically, let's kick it off. But without further ado, sorry, my words have gotten really twisted up today. But without further ado, let's jump right into our first topic for this block. So my first thing I want to touch on for the cons of warm weather running is you sweat a lot more. When you sweat, you give out more water, which means you have to take in more water, which is exactly what I told you is the opposite in cold weather running. But when you sweat, you're losing a lot of water and sodium and calories that you need to keep yourself going. So in the summer, I tend to have a lot more presence of thirst than in the winter when I have barely any thirst at all on my runs. I rarely ever say I want to come home and get a drink of water. Number 2 is that in the summer sometimes the sun can be ridiculous. Like, if it's hot out and the sun is beating down on you, you're probably bound to run slower. You're also bound to be more uncomfortable because that sun, all it's doing is beating down on your skin. And yeah, I mean, there's nothing else you can do about it except just run through it, or not run at all outside and run on your treadmill, which I don't really like running on the treadmill, so I choose not to do that one. Maybe some of you do. And that brings me to my third one, sunburns. They're extremely uncomfortable because once again, on the last one I just told you about the beating sun, that beating sun, if it's beating down on you all the time, it's probably going to give you sunburns, which also means it might give you chafing. You could be really uncomfortable with your clothes sometimes when it rubs against your skin, your t-shirts. I get them especially on like the top of my neck right here, because my t-shirts don't cover that spot, or down at the bottom of my legs because my shorts don't cover that spot either. So typically that's probably what's gonna happen for that. And yeah, so that's probably my last one. Yeah, guys, so that's probably going to wrap it up for this third block of the video. And now let's go into our fourth block of the video, the pros of warm weather running. Alright, guys, in this fourth block of the video, we're going to be talking about the pros of warm weather running. So to kick off our first pro, in the summer, if you're someone who likes to wake up and just go run, you can do that because you don't have to worry about bundling up. Typically in the winter, for those runners who run outside in the winter, you have to wake up super early. If you're going to have your breakfast, wake up even earlier. And then you have to build in like an extra 15 to 20 minutes just so that you can get bundled up and find the right clothes for yourself. That takes a lot of time. It's time consuming, and it loses you a lot of valuable sleep time and sometimes even like valuable time just spent at home. In the summer, if you're one of those people who just likes to go out and run at any time of year, you can wake up, have breakfast, and you can just go. Because you don't have to spend 15, 20 minutes looking for all these different clothes to put on, tights, leggings, gloves, hats, socks. You don't have to worry about all that. You can just step out the door, and you can just go. My second one is you don't have to worry about what time you want to run in the summer. In the summer, you can go super early in the morning at 6:30, or you can go at 8:30 at night. It's going to be light out either way. I mean, from the beginning of June till the end of August, typically, sometimes even into mid to late September, it's light out past 8 o'clock. Like, you don't have to worry about the sun rises before 6:30 and it sets after almost 9. So you don't really have to worry about what time you're waking up to go out and run and make time for that. My third pro of warm weather running is that there's not really any ice or snow on the ground. Normally in cold weather running, your times are typically going to be slower because there's a lot of ice and snow on the ground. You have more chances to slip. In the winter, you have more chances to you have more chances to get hurt in the winter in general. In the summer, you don't have to worry about that. The grounds are dry unless it rained. But even if it did rain, typically the rain evaporates the next day because it's so hot out. So you really don't have to worry about that at all. And my fourth thing is I have to remember it. 1 second. I'm gonna say my fourth thing is actually, I'm just not going to do my fourth thing because I can't remember it right now. So if I do remember it when we get to the next block or the recap, I will mention it for you guys. But for now, I hope you enjoyed this fourth block of the video. And now let's move into our fifth block of the video. What do I think cold? Which do I think is better, cold or hot or warm weather running? Alright, guys, in this fifth and final block of the video, we're going to be talking about what do I think is better, warm or cold running? So I'm going to tell you what's better, and then I'm going to rate them. But straight up, I'm going to tell you that I think warm weather running is much better than cold weather running. You heard my pros and cons. I even said there were exactly the same amount of pros and cons for each. But still, I feel like in the summer, you can just wake up earlier and have more time to run. You're less likely to get hurt. You don't have to bundle up. It's not frigid outside. You're not slipping and sliding everywhere. And in the winter, it's fine, but you have to bundle up. It's freezing. You're not typically enthused to go out. If it rained the previous night or snowed the previous night, typically it's slippery or it's icy or something. You're typically more bound to get hurt. So, that's probably all I have to say for that. But, so I definitely think warm is better than cold. But for the rating, first we're going to do cold. I'm rating cold a 2 out of 10. I'm not a big fan of cold weather running. I don't really like the cold at all. I would much rather be in 75s than be in 30s, or even 40s. I'd much rather be in 75s than 40s. So yeah, cold is 2 out of 10. Warm is 9 out of 10. The only reason I'm not giving it a 10 out of 10 is because sometimes I get hot and it becomes hard to finish the run. But either way, a 9 out of 10, that's pretty good. Because warm weather running, I'm not bundling up, I'm less likely to get hurt, it's not frigid, I'm not slipping and sliding. I feel like it's better to be, I find it better to be a warm weather runner. But tell me what you guys think. Comment down in the live chat what you guys think. And, yeah, maybe you're a warm weather runner like me, or maybe you have other reasons why you think cold weather running is better. Yeah, guys, so that's probably going to wrap it up for this final block of the video, and that's probably going to do it up for our video today. Alright, guys, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed listening to me talk about the pros and cons of warm and cold weather running. I know I got a little jumbled up sometimes, and my words didn't come out exactly how I wanted them to. And sometimes I didn't really include everything I really wanted to today in everything because I couldn't remember it. But I will hopefully remember it, and if I do remember anything else, I will comment down in the description what I think about anything else, if I think of anything else. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that. Stick around for this quote, and you guys are gonna love it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.